Hi everyone and welcome to a new video on the CBI channel. In this Django for Beginners tutorial series, we're creating a web application with different kinds of blog posts using Python Django. That looks something like this, where we are able to sign up and sign in and check out different blog posts. And we also have the possibility to create them, but also to edit them and to delete them. Now, this is not the first video in the series. In fact, we've already done 14 before, in which we've come to this result. And this already enables you to view the different blog posts, to edit them and to delete them. And we have already enabled the possibility of including images and all different kinds of things. Now in this video, we're going to continue and we're going to make sure that we can add a details page to our project. And that will mean that people will be able to see the details and the full article on another page. And also we're going to make sure that the content on the homepage is also available on the My Blog Post page. So only from there you can edit and delete. And that on the homepage, the only button we have is to see the details. And that's also a little bit of preparation for the next videos where we're going to be enabling the sign up and the login mechanism. To do that, we'll follow 4 steps. First of all, we'll be creating a new URL and a view for the details page. And we'll also create an HTML template that shows the full article. Next, we're going to be adding a link to the details page from the homepage, so viewers can see the full post from the homepage on another page. And as a last step, we'll make sure that all of the posts with the option to edit and delete are moved to the My Blog Post page, so that in the next videos, when we enable users to log in, only logged in users will be able to customize their own blog post and not all of them. So let's now get started. Now, the first thing that we want to do is create a URL, a view, and a template for the details page, so that from here we can click on details and view everything that we want to see. Now, if we check out the delete page, you can see that it's already quite similar to what we want to achieve, because for one blog post, it provides almost all of the details that we would like. So let's use that as a starting point to then work further. So let's start by creating a new template. And we're going to be copying over the template of the delete.html page, and we'll call it details.html. And in here, you can see that it already refers to blog and provides all of the details of the blog that we want to delete. And later on, we will change that so that it provides just the details. Then in the views.py file, we can also copy over the delete function that we have. But now we're going to be calling this one details. And this takes in the request and then the primary key of the post. And in the delete page, you can also see that we take in the primary key so that we can find the actual post that we need to display right here. Now, the whole logic of deleting the post, we can actually get rid of that because we don't want to delete the post. We just want to take that post and bring it not to the deleted HTML page, but to the details.html page. Now, last thing that we also need is a URL for this page. So we're going to go to the urls.py file and copy over the path for deleting something. And now instead of deleting it, we're calling it details. And as mentioned before, we want to have the primary key in the link so that we can go to the view and get the correct post and display it. So we'll leave that in here. Now, of course, we don't want to look at the views.delete, but at the views.details. And the name is going to be details. And let's now save that. So if I now change this delete to details, we should get exactly the same result, but then on a different page. And now we can modify this a little bit so that it works for the details. Now, the first thing that I would like to do is have the title of the post right here and also get rid of this delete logic because that will no longer work. So we're going to go to the details.html file and we're going to copy over the blog.title from here and put that on the top and get rid of it right here. And also we're going to scroll to the bottom and we're going to delete this complete form thing that is deleting stuff because we no longer want that. Let's save that. And now we notice that the title is on the top and we no longer have the delete logic. So this is all nice, but what I now also want is this yellow square to go away. And I want to show the full post, not only the first characters, because we want to get everything in there. To do that, we can actually get rid of the article delete class that we've created previously, because we specifically created that to make sure that it looks a little bit different. So if we get rid of that div, with the yellow background and we fix the indentations a little bit, it should go away. And now it looks like this. And to make sure that we show the full content, we need to get rid of the truncate characters that only shows the 200 characters. So we'll just get rid of the full truncate characters thing and just show the blog.content. Now we see the full blog post, not just the first 200 characters. Now this looks fine, but I actually want to start off next to the title with the image. So I want to have it in a little bit of a different place. So what we will do is we'll just move up the div of the article image delete and put it right here above the created on date. So now it is here. But actually it can become a little bit bigger because this is really, really small. So let's do that right now. To do that, we call this article image delete and we change this slightly to details. And then we're going to go to our main.css file. We're going to look up the article image delete. And you notice in here that we set the image widths to 100 pixels and 120 pixels as the height and the width. So we're just going to copy this over. We're now going to set the width to, let's say, 100% and the height also to 100%. And then we call this article image details. And we're going to get rid of the article image right here because we don't need that to be there. So let's see what this does. And now you notice that the image actually becomes the full width. And this looks much better. It looks much more like a news article where people can see the full content. Now, the last thing that I noticed right here, that the text is all cluttered together. Whilst if we go to the home page and then edit this actual blog post, you notice that it actually has natural spacings so that the article looks a little bit better for the end user. So how do we actually change that? Well, what we can do is we can go to the content and do a standing slash like this, and then we do line breaks, and then we save that. And this should make sure that it actually breaks up the lines in accordance with our form. So when we now go to slash details slash 11, so now our article really looks like a blog post. And if we go to other ones, for example, we want to see this one, which has the ID of 10, you notice that it also looks quite good. So now what I want to do is make sure that we have all the content from this homepage with edit and delete moved to my blog post. And then I only want to have a button right here that states that we want to see the details. So first, we're going to go to the blog post.html page. And in here, we notice that we have a top bar, but we don't have all of the articles rendered on the page. So what we want to do is we want to go to the home.html and we want to copy over this whole logic that evaluates the number of blog posts and then shows all of the blog posts. So I'm going to copy over this full if statement and we're going to go to the blog post.html file and just get rid of the div and paste everything that we have in there. Now let's now save this. Now when we get here, we still don't see anything. And the reason for that is our view. Because inside of the views.py file, if we go to the home page, you notice that we have blogs and a blogs count. But on our blog post page, we don't actually bring the blogs or the blogs count to the actual HTML page. So that means that we are not getting the blog post and we also cannot show anything. So I'm just going to copy over the full view of home and just paste it in the blog post page. And the context is going to make sure that this is going to be appearing on our HTML page. So now when we refresh this, we notice that we get all of the blog posts that we had before on the home.html page. Now, how this will work in the future is that this page will only be available for the user itself, and it will only see its own blog post and will be able to edit and delete them. And on the home page, users can see all blog posts and will only be able to go to a page to see the details. So the last thing we now want to do is get rid of these buttons on the home page and only direct them to the details page that we've just created. So we're going to go to the home.html page and we're going to scroll down until we arrive at the buttons. And I'm going to get rid of the delete button. And in the edit button, I'm going to change the text to read more, and then we're going to point the link not to edit, but to details. And we do details because that's also the name right here in the urls.py file. Now we still include the block.id because as you can see in the urls.py file, it expects the ID to be provided for the details page. And now when we refresh this, we have this read more button. And if we click it, we get to the details page for the post. And then we can go back to the home page to view that for the different ones that are available. And that is actually all for this video. In this video, I showed you how you can create a details page for your blog post with nice looking bigger images. In the next videos, we're going to continue and I'm going to show you how we can enable users to sign up. So how we can create users in our application when they sign up through a form. And in the videos after, I'll also make sure that we can log in and reset passwords. I want to thank you very much for watching this video. If you've enjoyed it, please leave a like and subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye.